Hello guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements. Welcome to the final video of the week. Before I get started guys, just a real quick one. If any of you would like to join my Signal team and receive my personal trades as well as my daily market research regarding whichever positions I have open at that time, then make sure you visit my website dailymarketmovements.com. I've left the website link in the description of today's video. For a very small fee of $29, you will gain access to all of this, and I'm also adding some educational videos onto the website which members will only have access to. So it's members only that will have access to those educational videos, which will be coming online probably next week. But let's get started with today's video. It's been a very good day, a very good week for my Signal followers here. S&P 500 doing exactly what I said it would do once we broke above the swing high that we formed back on the 6th of September, which was around 5,520. 5,520. This was the magic number. A break above here really then unleashed this market to go higher, and that's exactly what's happened here. We're currently trading within this triangle wedge pattern here for the S&P 500. It's not really now until we break above 5,650 that this really starts to turn bullish. I think that, I think it was yesterday that I said I do believe that we can go and achieve 5,650, but I do believe we're going to hit a big barrier of resistance at that price level. I did also mention that I think that we could hit it going into the FOMC meeting, but perhaps next week we might see some volatility. I think what's also really interesting to observe as well is that September, historically speaking, does see some weakness in the back end of the month. So if history was to rhyme, then we could potentially see perhaps a rejection at around that 5,650 and a move back down towards it, say 5,550 area. So not much. I think that would actually be healthy. We could form some sort of consolidation ahead of the election. That's only a few weeks away now. I think we're about 48 days away from the US election. So, of course, we have the month of October, which historically is quite bullish for the market. But I think that we could just chop around here until we, enter the election. But what is interesting is that this wedge pattern does, in fact, actually have to expire prior to the US election because, November, it's around here. So we're going to have to either break out towards the downside or break up towards the upside going into that US election. Nasdaq 100, very similar. We've broken the recent downtrend here. Similar to the S&P 500, we are kind of trading within this triangle wedge pattern, but the only difference is that you could even argue that we've now broken above it, or we're currently testing it, the top end of it at present. Obviously, technology has been hammered the past couple of weeks, all the way from 21,000, let's say, all the way down to 17,000, but we have seen a very strong rebound. Again, it's stocks like Nvidia that have rebounded, and also lots of other semiconductor stocks, but of course, Nvidia has led that rebound that has really aided the likes of the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 regaining what it's initially lost during the first week of the month of September. Finally, Dow Jones 30, not much. We're pretty much at an all-time high here. Not much weakness seen here over the past couple of weeks compared to the S&P 500 and Nasdaq, but this is quite encouraging. I think if we can form a brand new all-time high for the Dow Jones 30, that could potentially be a catalyst that drags the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 up through them barriers that I just mentioned. This one here, for example, for the Nasdaq, and this one here for the S&P 500 at 5,650. Just quickly looking at Nvidia. Nvidia today quite flat, but obviously yesterday we ended up the day around 2%. The day prior to that was up around 8.15%. I think for this week, we've had a great rally here of around 15% for Nvidia, and that of course is very encouraging, with it being a 6% weightage in the S&P 500 and an even larger weightage in the Nasdaq 100. Another market I'm keeping a very close eye on is the dollar. Dollar also finding some more weakness today. We're now trading at 100. It is in my expectation that we fall down towards around 97. Of course, a weakening US dollar is beneficial for US equities. You might think, well, Max, why is that the case when, the US dollar is the currency of the USA? And that's because although these businesses are from the US, their headquarters are in the US, you have to take note that there's only a population of 330 million people inside the US, and about 70% of most of these US businesses is actually from outside the US. So when they're gaining clients in Europe, for example, or Asia, they're having to exchange that money to bring it back to the US dollar. So obviously a weaker US dollar and a stronger foreign currency, that obviously does benefit them, where when the dollar is higher, then obviously they're getting headwinds when they're trying to bring that money back to US soil. So a falling US dollar does benefit US corporations. Finally, to wrap up today's video, ahead of the weekend, let's just have a look at Bitcoin currently trading around at 78k. Sorry, that 58k. Sorry, not 78. I wish 58k. And this obviously is having a much positive effect on the likes of the Bitcoin proxies, for example, that my Signal team currently have open. So that's why I said it's been a very positive week so far for myself and the Signal team, because we do have a lot of crypto or let's say Bitcoin focused assets, as I do expect this market to thrive in the coming weeks and months ahead as we go into the end of the year. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. Don't forget, if you would like to join my Signal team, I'm trying to get 1,000 clients ahead of next year. So by the end of 2025, I want to have over 1,000 people following my trades, my educational content. I'm going to have lots of stuff to post in the coming weeks and months ahead. So thank you very much, team, for tuning in for today's video. I'll be posting the next one on Monday. Have a lovely weekend all.